New Hampshire, that there's people on the ground who are willing to put their work towards him and as well as put their dollars towards him.
Carrie, thank you. Let's bring in our political strategist here. MSNBC political analyst Karen Finney is a former Democratic spokesperson. Republican strategist Ron Bonjean used to work for the Republican leaders Dennis Hastert and Trent Lott. Good to see you both today.
Great to see you.
All right, so Ron, let me begin with you.
Sure.
Is there anybody on the GOP side who should be looking at the polling, looking at debate performance, and just throw in the towel right now?
Well, right now, I would say last night's debate was really like an NFL preseason game. You're looking for people who are going to rise ahead of the pack, and for those who are probably going to fall off. I would have to say, you did have some minor candidates who will probably end up dropping off after a little while here. You have Rick Santorum, you have Herman Cain, who I don't know if Ron Paul will ever step away yet. He's pretty feisty. But those are the ones that I think will fall off to the wayside pretty soon.
And Karen, what's your thought on that?
I think that's about right. I mean, a lot of what this is about at this point is who's got the money and the sort of infrastructure to hang on. I mean, you saw Newt Gingrich sort of make a point about that during the campaign, although I think he will probably keep going, during the debate last night, based on his ego. You might see someone like Cain. I certainly don't think Ron Paul will back off. He and Rick Santorum clearly have each other in their sights. So, I think you'll probably see most of the top folks continue on from here. The question will be whether or not they can make the argument to donors that they're still viable candidates, particularly given that now we've got this wild card not only of Rick Perry, but you've got Sarah Palin popping her head back up.
Right, and Sarah Palin, as people have pointed out this week, she doesn't have sort of the campaign apparatus assembled and ready to go in the way that Rick Perry does, but she certainly casts a long shadow. Ron, what do you anticipate Perry in this role of shaker-upper will do once he enters the race?
Well, once he enters the race, I think you're going to see the preliminary season over. You're going to see here, I think the field is then pretty much set, unless Palin jumps in. Right now, it doesn't look like she's going to. And so I think with Rick Perry, we're going to have to see what he does, how he delivers his speeches, how impactful he is, and how much money he raises. Because right now, Mitt Romney is doing very well on the fundraising side, and Rick Perry has to do the same thing as well.
Romney, meanwhile, is not really wasting time attacking other GOP opponents. He's focused on President Obama, and it seems like he's just, he's already skipped the primary nominations and is going right into the general election. The president was focused on him, too. Politico reported this week that Obama's campaign wanted to paint Romney as weird, among other things. David Axelrod shot down that story on Today. Let me play it.
And anyone who purports to be a source within the Obama camp who used that term and some of the other terms that were in that story, according to unnamed sources, should be ripped out of whoever's Rolodex considers them sources.
Are you saying that story is false?
Yes, I think.
We're hearing it. We're seeing it. Now my turn to talk. Okay, Karen, regardless of whether the story is false, and Axelrod called it garbage, is Mitt Romney the primary concern for the president's campaign?
Well, he's certainly a concern. And again, I think because of the fluidity on the Republican side, I'm sure they're keeping their eyes on a number of people. I actually will tell you that I had heard from some folks within the campaign that someone had talked to Ben Smith and that kind of got blown out of proportion. But I think it's clear that, look, we've already seen some activity in terms of them trying to frame Mitt Romney again as a flip-flopper, again, sort of also since he's trying to run as a business person, making a point of his record. So clearly he's someone that they are focused on.
And Romney has a target on his back with all these GOP opponents. But, it'll be interesting to see how Rick Perry's entry shakes up this race, as we've been saying. And also whether Sarah Palin, even an endorsement from her, could make a difference in the way this thing runs. So, Karen, Ron, thank you both for participating. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh, we're getting some live video in right now, I'm being told. Oh, Iowa State Fair. Now, again, her bus tour is kicking off again. And the State Fair is sort of the mandatory stop by for these candidates. We've seen a lot of attention paid to all the fried food on the stick at the Iowa State Fair. But again, this is live video coming in from Sarah Palin, who, again, says that she will, later on, she said, this summer or later this fall, she's going to say whether she's going to run for president, but so far has not really assembled the kind of campaign team that even Rick Perry did in the lead up to what's supposed to be his official announcement tomorrow. But here's the woman who definitely knows how to grab the headlines and to drive the storyline for cable news the next day. All right, big question today. Will the straw poll be a make or break opportunity for any of the GOP candidates? You heard Michael Steele, former RNC chairman, say on Morning Joe, come on, it's the summertime. We're still in